And they look, see, there's reasonable Americans who think that all of our demands should be met. Look at this. Former U.S. Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard advises Zelensky to sit down on a meeting and agree to Russia's terms. Otherwise, Russia's army will achieve even greater success, and Kyiv's position will become weaker. So this is Russian state media using Tulsi Gabbard to say, look, even the Americans know that Ukraine must submit to us. And it's just like one example of it. And also, Russian state TV did call her our friend while that Tucker Carlson interview was airing. I only showed the 14-second thing. It didn't include that, so I wanted to make sure that was stated. And a record on Ukraine. Actually, you know what? Let me not be done with that. I'm really bitter about the Ukraine stuff because our Ukraine stuff is awful. Let me show you what she said 3 days into Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
Presidents Putin, Zelensky, and Biden. It's time to put geopolitics aside and embrace the spirit of aloha, respect and love for the Ukrainian people by coming to an agreement that Ukraine will be a neutral country, no military alliance with NATO or Russia, and therefore alleviate the legitimate security concerns of both US and NATO countries as well as Russia, because there'd be no Russian or NATO troops on each other's non-Baltic borders. This would allow the Ukrainian people to live in peace.
Okay, before we talk about the problem with this peace plan that she was throwing out there, at this time, because the Russians were demanding not only Ukraine's neutral status, they were also demanding that they demilitarize. They were also demanding special status for the Russian language. They were also demanding acknowledgments of the annexation of Ukrainian land. And so, to be blunt, I do think this is naive. But putting that aside, embrace the spirit of aloha. Zelensky, please submit. It's what the Hawaiians would do. Please, the spirit of aloha, Zelensky. The spirit. Don't shoot back. The spirit of aloha. Come on, ride the waves, bro. Get out of here. Non-serious. Non-serious. And there's a bunch of other stuff where, like, for example, she said that Orthodox Church in Ukraine was banned, which is not true. There was a specific sect of Orthodoxy that is headed by Kirill, somebody who has said that if you go into Ukraine and kill Ukrainians, you go to heaven. And it's an organization that's been actively used to spy in Ukraine, and the Russians have tried to use to spy in the United States, by the way, which I think should be of concern to Americans. That's the organization that has been moved, that has been told, we're not going to renew your leases, we're not going to allow you to operate in these buildings that we're leasing out to you, and we don't want you really to be all that flourishing in our country, get out. The law that they passed stated, and this is the ban law, if a religious institution is based in a country that is invading Ukraine, as in it's like head chapter, it's all that, is based in that country, and Kirill, the head of that church, who again was saying, invade Ukraine, it's great, do that, then they cannot operate within Ukraine. So technically, if Russia was to end the war tomorrow, the Russian Orthodox Church could just come straight back into Ukraine under Ukrainian law. I don't know if they would allow that, considering its record with spying, but whatever. The spirit of aloha. The spirit of aloha.